Hey guys, FMHandheld here. We're doing another FIFA 12 prediction video. We're looking at the Norway versus England game that's happening tonight, the 26th of May. Hodgson's already announced in the squad. Robert Green will start in goal, Andy Carroll will start up front, and Steven Gerrard will captain the teams. I wasn't able to pick the Norway squad, but I picked the England squad judging on who I thought would play. I did include Scott Parker instead of Gareth Barry. That was a slight mistake. Other team news: Theo Walcott and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't travel in fears of racism. I don't know if you're aware of that already. And this, I think it's going to be quite an interesting lineup. Well, I'll talk about my predictions of the game, not lineup, game even. I'll talk about my prediction of the game while the gameplay goes on in the background. But when you look at it, I think the England squad is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. Even when it was strong, we didn't play well. I think new manager, not used to the style of play, and I think it's going to be a very scrappy game. If I had to put a prediction on it right now, I'd probably say 2-0 to England. Probably scoring a late goal. I think we deserve to win, but I don't think it'll be an impressive display. Andy Carroll up front on his own. I don't know, you can see him being isolated quite easily. I reckon they'll stick Gerrard just behind him. Hopefully them two will start combining quite well. That's all you can hope for. When you look at the rest of the team, the defence I think is solid enough. Gary Cahill, John Terry, Ashley Cole and Glenn Johnson is presumably when he's fit. I think that's a solid enough back four. I think the real issue is when you look up front. Okay, strikers. You've got Rooney, who's going to be out for 3 games during the Euros. You've got Carroll, who's only had a few good games. I mean, when he did have those good games, he was sensational. But remember, he scored, 4 goals in the Premier League this season? 6? I mean, that's just a worryingly low number of goals. And you kind of have to think, is that enough to deserve to be first team place in the Euros? And no, Danny Welbeck, I think he probably, out of all the strikers, deserves to be there. He's had a good season with United. He had a good season with Sunderland last season. But there's no Crouch, which is quite odd, over Andy Carroll. Jermaine Defoe, despite not being Tottenham first team, that's another surprising one for us there. And I don't know, I just think maybe Peter Crouch should be there. I think with the goal scoring record he has. Gary Hooper's been ignored. He scored a ton of goals for Celtic. You got players like Grant Holt, even Ricky Lambert to an extent. I mean, I know it was Championship, but Grant Holt and Gary Hooper surely deserve a shout. That's just my personal opinion anyhow. The only issue with defence, I think everyone's been saying it, is where's Micah Richards? When Glenn Johnson got injured, Martin Kelly's been brought in as backup. But why wouldn't Micah Richards be called in? I think Micah Richards is such a great right back. I know he's had injury problems in the past, but it seems to have put them behind him. He's got great pace, great power. And I don't know, it just really surprised me, that decision. Like, I could understand maybe picking Glenn Johnson and then Micah Richards back up, seeing as Zabaleta's played quite a few games for City this season, so Richards hasn't had as much first team football. But, I mean, to pick Martin Kelly, Liverpool backup right back, ahead of Micah Richards baffles me, personally, from Hodgson. How do I think we'll do at the Euros this season, past this game? I reckon we'll get to the semi-finals. It's quite a bold claim, because I think it's a lot further than a lot of people think we'll get. But I think we'll get to the semi-finals. The team isn't good enough to win it, that's for sure, and there are better teams out there, but I reckon we'll have poor performances but scrape our way to the semi-finals. And I think this might be the last international tournament for some of the lads. Frank Lampard, you know, he's hitting 34 now, can't see him playing for England at 36. Will Gerrard get one more international tournament? He might get the World Cup, I'm not sure. It's debatable, but he's hitting 31, 32 now. And it looks like a new generation. It's going to be a new era of England players are starting to creep in. You've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, you've got players like Jack Wilshere fighting for places. I mean, there's a lot of potential in England as well. Daniel Sturridge, Jack Rodwell. And there was the goal. It was a deflected effort by Lampard, just a huge deflection. I think, yeah, it's finally the time for the new era of players to come through. I mean, we've stuck with Gerrard and Lampard for so many years right now, and it looks like finally, you know, Capello started it, because Sven was picking the classic players, Michael Owen, David Beckham. Then Capello started picking players on form more than quality, but didn't exactly work for Capello. I mean, the World Cup campaign was a disaster, but it looks like, I think the England managers have realised there's a lot of potential in England, and the sooner we realise that, the better, because we can't keep bringing the same players to these international competitions if they clearly don't play well together. And I think that was the case under Sven and under Capello to a certain extent, because you still had some of the players there and the tactics didn't work. Simple as. In terms of Norway, I can't really comment because I don't know that much about the Norway squad, other than they have a few good players. They got Bjorn Riise, who was at Fulham. They got John Arne Riise from Liverpool, man. He was at Rome. Where's he at these days? Oh, he's at Fulham as well. They got Pedersen. So they got some good players, but I couldn't comment on them, and I wouldn't start making comments about them because simply it would be wrong, and those people who know more than me about Norway would be like, this guy's an idiot. So the game ended 1-0 from a deflected Lampard strike. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a scrappy win like that. What I'd love to see is your comments and predictions, or if you see this after the game, your thoughts on the game and how you think England will do in the Euros. So I always read through all the comments. I would really appreciate that. So if you could drop this a like, leave it a comment either before or after the game, and make sure you subscribe. I'm the channel manager here at MreGamersSports, nice growing network. If you're interested in becoming a director, if you go onto the main channel page, in the top right it'll say apply to be a director, click that and I'll read your application form. Alright, cheers guys, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this. Peace.